Alright guys, we're back, and on the last video I forgot to cover a few wall creation tools, and for some of you these might be a refresher. Anyhow, if I pick this wall, it's already set up to be the top constraint to be finished ceiling. Some of you guys may have missed it when you guys start on your project, and it may not be defaulted to that. So just make sure, because sometimes it'll show as unconnected and it'll go like 20 feet tall. So if I go to my 3D view, you know, that wall will be sticking up pretty high, right? So, and it's an easy fix, obviously. You just click that and you say, I want you to be connected to the finished ceiling. So that is your base and your top constraint. I also want to go quickly into some basic wall editing. So if I create a wall here, and I want to split this wall into two pieces, the shortcut key would be SP for split. Oh, obviously not. Yeah, oops, my fault. It's actually SL is the shortcut key for slice. So if you click on this little X-Acto knife and put any part of that wall, you can actually slice that wall into two pieces. So that's your slice command. We obviously went through the trim command, which you will learn a lot, or you guys will use a lot. And then if you want to move this wall, I mean, Revit's pretty good at being sticky, if you will, and it just kind of figures out where you might want to align it to. But sometimes when you have a lot of stuff, it doesn't really know what to align it to. And let's say I wanted to align this wall equal to this. The shortcut key would be AL for align, and you just pick one edge and the other edge, and it'll align. And now you get this little lock button. If you happen to click the lock button, it's good and bad. It's good because it moves together, but sometimes you don't want it to move together, so you have to use your discretion. But if you use the lock button there, you can, when you move that, the other part is associated to that, and it continues to move together. So I'm going to undo all that and then get that deleted. So okay guys, so we covered really quickly trim, align, and split. And the other part that I wanted to mention to you guys about is poching the wall, meaning make the walls a little bit darker so graphically it looks really nice. It presents well. So the shortcut key is VV, which is visibility graphics. You should be able to launch this. And if you go down to the wall, and by the way, when you do this on this view, first floor, finished floor view, anything that you do here is only affecting this particular view. So if you set up another view for second floor, you would have to do the same thing that I'm doing now on the second floor. Alright, so I'm going to go down to the walls. I know this thing looks very intimidating, but once you guys get a grip of it, it'll make sense. So then I'm going to come down here into the patterns tab, and I'm going to click override, and I want my background to be solid. Of course, it's visible, and I kind of like this darker gray or light gray as my poche color. You guys can pick any color you wish. So when I do that, nothing happens. Alright, so that was lame. Let's go back to VV and see what I did. Walls, projection surface. That's what I did. It's not, this particular plan is not a projected plan, it's actually cut. Remember, this wall is about 8 foot tall, but on a floor plan I'm showing it at 4 feet. So this particular wall is currently cut. So I need to modify the cut pattern, right? So the cut pattern here, so the cut of the wall and the pattern of the cut. So I come down here, and I should make that fill. Let's just use a darker gray. I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to come here to the projected surface pattern, and I'm just going to clear override and bring it back to default. Hit apply. There you go. So now the walls are pochade. So let's pop some windows and doors in here. Let's just start with the window. So the window, if you go to the architecture tab, it'll be here. But also the shortcut key for Windows is WN. So I'm coming here, and right now we only have a limited amount of windows on the family, and I'm going to teach you how to import new windows and create new windows. So right now in the front, it seems like there's a fixed window, 36 inches wide. I'm going to maybe pick this one, which is a 3x4 window. I'll pop it in. A couple of important things when you select it. These arrow means that's the exterior of the windows, guys. So we'll pop that in there, and it seems like here I have a few casement windows and a fixed window, so WN. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and just place windows first, and I'll make adjustments to it. I have a casement, great. Let's do that. I have a sliding window here. So again, window. And I don't have a sliding window. So now I'm going to show you guys how to import a window or insert a family. If you guys go to your asset folder that you should have downloaded by now, you should have a folder called families. And in there I have a sample window sliding, double sliding window family. In this case, I should be able to just drag it in. Yep, it's giving me a plus sign, so it's in here. And then now I'm able to place this window. And then there's a sliding window here. Again, if I'm coming from the inside, you see that little arrow? That means that's the exterior. So I'm going to come from the outside and push it in. And then there's another one here. And I think that's all my windows. And now it's just a matter of me adjusting this window. So this is a bedroom window, and it's going to be a pretty wide window. On the plans, you'll see that as window number 5. And then if you just go up to the schedule and look at window number 5, that should be a 5 feet by only 1.5 feet tall sliding window. All right, so let's make this. Oh, I have one. 5 feet by 1.5. So I just changed that. So I have all my windows. Let's take a quick preview. And you can see the windows are kind of placed randomly, like this one's kind of low, and then these ones seem like in a decent height. So you guys have to move it so that you have the proper head height distance. So usually doors are 6'8", and I like to match the tops of my windows to the tops of my doors as a default. And then after that, if the design calls for a lower window or higher window, that's when you want to make that adjustment, right? So if you click on a window, it'll tell you down here head height is 6 feet now. So I'm going to go 6'8", and I'm going to copy that text because I'm going to be using that elsewhere. And I come here, and so now that's nudged up the top of the window to be 6'8". So that's called the head height. That was super low. And I'm going to come here. That was at 7 feet. This is at 7 feet. So I'm going to move all that down. And that's at 6'8". So now I have all my windows at the proper height, and the width. You guys are more than welcome to change the width of the windows and the placement of the windows. So yeah, make this project yours. Feel free to design it and kind of tweak it. Okay, let's get into placing the doors. So shortcut key for door is DR, or here is the icon selection. But get used to using shortcuts. So right now it's my file is preloaded with this sliding door. So I think there's a sliding door here, and I think that's it. And then go back to the door command, and then we want, so in building code, for habitable rooms, like when you enter the house, entering the bedroom, entering the bathroom, these habitable doors, minimum width is 32 inches. Obviously you can go wider, and always push save. Take the time to save, because if you lose your work, it's not going to be fun. So again, back to this discussion, building code wise, your minimum size is a 32-inch door, right? But you can always make them wider, and I'm hitting the space bar to flip the direction. But again, minimum that you want is 32. So I think I got all the doors. There's a door here for the... So I'm going to change my entry door so that you can bring furniture in and things like that to a 36-inch door. I think this one also a rear entry door. I think I'm going to make that 36. I'm not sure what it says on the door schedule, but you know, again, you guys have the freedom to kind of push and pull these projects. All right, so let's detail out and put in some kitchen stuff, some furniture stuff. So what you want to do is you want to insert component. Shortcut key for inserting component is CM. Let me see if I can find... I think it's insert. I don't even know where the icon is, guys. Oh, here it is. Components under the architecture tab. But again, I'm a shortcut guy, so this is a desk. I do not need a desk. Let's see what is loaded here. I do have furniture. So I'm hitting the space bar to rotate this thing around. Let me see, what else do I have? I have a bed, so let's put a queen size bed. CM, let's get a toilet. So you can search for things by typing. So I have a toilet here. By the way, generally bathrooms should be 5 foot by 10 foot, you know, for a standard, what we call a full size bath. So we have 5 feet 1 here right now, and 10 feet 1. So let's just kind of make it. Here, I'm going to go 5'10" here. Again, feel free to make it your own. It's really not an issue. I'm going to go to component, type in tub. And I don't have a tub. Maybe bathtub? Nope, no bathtub. So now I need to insert a bathtub or find a bathtub somewhere and get it into this file. Again, in your project assets folder, you should find a bathtub. I'm going to just drag it in. And it's telling me, hey, it couldn't find a host. So this bathtub is somewhat of an intelligent family, and it wants to place it onto a host wall, but that has to be done in 3D view. But I'm just going to shortcut it and say place it on a plane, meaning on my floor plan, and that should allow me to just place it. So if you get that error, don't panic, just kind of take a look at it and see if you can just place it on a plane. Let's just go to 3D to make sure that it looks reasonable. Yeah, and it placed it on the floor. So you have that. Let's get some vanity or countertops in here. So CM, type counter. So I do have a vanity, which is just really a square rectangle top with a hole in it. You know, so I'm just rotating it and getting it in place. And then after that, I can nudge it around. So I have that. Let's go back. For kitchen, I want to get a... And the reason why I have a different family for kitchen and vanity is that, at least, I don't know if this one doesn't look like it measures 24. That's 1'9". So kitchen should be actually 24 inches. Your base cabinets are usually 24 inches deep. So the countertop should be really 25.5. So let's go ahead and modify this base. So this one's going to be used for the kitchen. So that should always be 25.5 and not 1 feet 9 inches. So I'm going to come here, click on edit type, and then it tells me my kitchen sink with a 24-inch base. Clearly that's not 24, but again I'm going to go 25.5, which accounts for the overhang, and say yes, and you can see that is a little wider than that, right? So now that's a proper kitchen countertop. So I'm going to go to CM again. Oops. CM. And let's just get a regular countertop with no hole on it, so that can finish out the rest of my kitchen. And then you can take these little arrows and stretch it out to where you need it to be. And this particular family, the middle arrow controls that hole in the sink. Alright, so let's get a refrigerator in here. CM REF. There it is. Get out. Alright, so I'm going to pop that in there. Oh, I see why. I'm going to, depending on how wide you want your, cabinet, it seems like we're sticking this wall out. But, this feels a little tight to me. I'm not sure if I traced this properly. So I'm going to make a change, and I'm going to move it a little bit this way, and I'm going to just add another wall here. Again, you guys are free to do your own little layout. So that wall should be outside of the refrigerator, and I wouldn't make that wall too long because then you can't open this door. Alright, so I think I have most of the stuff in here. Oh, I need a closet door, don't I? So let's see if I have a closet door. Yep, I have a 72-inch, and obviously that's a little bit, it's a little bit long. Let's adjust these walls, bring that down. Perfect. Alright, we're at the stretch run here, guys. Let's put in a washer and dryer. CM again, washing machine. So I'm just going to use the one washing machine and just assume that it's a stacker. Again, this is going to be pretty wide, so having a 32-inch door here wouldn't be a good idea. Let's put a 36 so that it can get a washer and dryer in there. Let me see what else. Seems like there's a coffee table, so let's see if we have a table. Nope. Coffee. Nope. Alright, so let's go get a coffee table. Here it is. Just simply drag and drop. And then one more chair. So component, chair. No chair. Alright, so let's go into you guys should also have a component family that was downloaded along with Revit. So if I go down to Insert, Load Family, you guys should have a folder called English Imperial. And then you can go into Furnitures. Let's go to Seating. And let's just get one of these chairs. No. We'll get a little desk chair. No, that doesn't look good. You know what? Let's get a Corbeau chair for the living room. It might be a little bit too big, but we'll see. So what it's doing is that it's opening up the file internally and it's loading it up. I'm not sure why it's taking so long. Okay, it's finally in. I type CM and there's a chair. Yeah, it's pretty big, but it's cool. We'll just use it. Alright, so let's actually put a floor on this thing, because if you look at this in 3D, the floor, there's nothing. You can see right through it. So right now, technically all these things are floating, but remember, they're not floating. They're stuck to your level, your first finished floor level, right? And that's why making sure that all your levels are spot on is very important. So let's go to floor. And in this case, we're going to do a concrete floor. We call that a slab-on-grade system. And so I'm going to pick a generic 4-inch, which I do not have right now. So I'm going to go to Edit Type, duplicate the 12-inch, and give it a name, generic 4. OK that, come into the edit and make my floor 4 inches thick. Now I'm not giving any materials or anything like that. That'll be a different class. And then here I'm going to use the pick wall tool and I'm going to attach the floor to these walls. And this is actually quite important, and I'm going to trim. I mean, it's plus or minus because now they're attached to the wall. The good thing is that as you review your project with your client and you stretch the wall, your floor also has stretched along with that design gesture. Okay, so that could only be done if you attach it to the wall or you align it and then you lock it. Actually, let's just add a little color graphically to the floor so that when we're looking at this floor plan, we can tell the difference between a floor and a blank white space. So again, you're going to go to VV, and when you're doing VV, it only affects this particular view. All right. So I come down here to the floor, and in this case, I will be using projection surface because this view, I'm not cutting through the floor. I'm actually looking at it as a quote-unquote direct projection. So here's my floor, projection surface, my background. I'm going to make it a solid color, and let's go this kind of mustard yellow. And there you go. So now I have a pretty decent floor plan. I know that I have a floor there because I see this kind of mustard yellow color. And I think I'm almost done. Let us actually work on the stairs. Alright, so Revit stairs is actually quite amazing and also quite frustrating at the same time. But let's take a look. You're going to click stairs, and you're going to choose this tool here, which is a straight stair. And it's going to be set for a 3-inch wide stairs, right? So run width right here. So I'm just going to, and then also, oh, before I start clicking, you want the stairs to start at the floor, and you want it to finish at the floor, second floor, not the finished ceiling. And then we're going to go here. I'm going to eyeball it, but it also tells me, I don't know if you can see it on the screen, it says 8 risers created and 8 remaining. So I'm going to stop there, and then I'm going to come like really far away from there, and then finish off the other risers. So after I finish off the risers, I'm able to kind of adjust a little bit to make sure that it's going to fit in my little walls. And it does. And then this landing was created automatically. I'm going to select all 3 and kind of nest it right in here. So it's definitely, I don't know why, but these stairs are definitely much more compact than my example. So you have a couple of choices. We could actually, oh, well, let's just OK that first. You know, you could definitely move this wall in if you like. Maybe make it a little bit. That way you have a wider laundry room. Or if you wanted a wider porch, you can bring this wall in. Again, this is your choice. I'm OK with that. And you can see now the floor is moving with my wall. So that's why that part was important. Alright, so let's wrap up this demo by adding some grid lines. I always like to place grid lines when I'm working on a multi-floor project. That way I can line things up from the second level and the upper level. Let me just turn off these dimensions for now. Here's your tool for the grid line here. And you know, there's a lot of different ways. A lot of offices like to do it to center line of columns. So everybody has their own little recipe. For me, I like to identify the exterior, the most outer portion of my project. And if I kind of bring it here and you allow that blue line to show, blue dash line, that means these two are kind of locked. So when you move it, because you're going to have to move it around to make it fit, they will all move together. So I kind of established my 3 outer perimeters, and then I'm going to do the same thing this way. I definitely want to establish my stairwell, so I'm going to put a grid line there. I don't think I'm going to put a grid line on both of these walls. I'll probably just put one. And again, on the interior walls, I mean, ideally center is probably the best location, but for me, I just try to stay consistent, and if I'm taking one edge of the wall, whether it's the inside or outside, it doesn't really matter. I just try to keep my grid lines there. And it helps our engineers kind of line up the walls when they engineer the project. So that's how you create your grid lines. I like one direction, if this is an X, to be numerical, and then the Y to be a different kind of call out. So I'm going to use alphabetical there. So I'm simply clicking on it, coming here, and then typing it in. So I like that to be B and C and D. Alright, so now you guys have your grid lines in, and we can probably move to the second level. I am not going to do the demo on the second level. You guys should be able to finish it out from here, and I'll see you on the next video.